professor of exercise and sports science at Western Colorado University and also a member of the ACE Scientific Advisory Panel. And in this month's issue of Certified, one of my current graduate students, Emma Cantrell, and I have written on a topic titled A Long-Term Vision of Periodization for Health and Exercise Professionals. And in today's video clip, I want to share with you part of my motivation for writing this article with Emma, and then also just touch on a few of the key themes in the article for you. So my motivation, oftentimes, and certainly I can point this way to myself, when I think about training, I think about a long block of training being maybe 3 months. And that's how we do a lot of our research as well. But the reality is, as health and exercise professionals, when we work with our clients, it can be not just for several months, but for year upon year. And when we think about training in that longer timeline, it's really important to approach it with a periodized lens. And so that's what we talk about in this month's article. There's a number of benefits to periodization. This can be that physiologically speaking, our body responds to stimuli for certain types of training in a very singular fashion. And so what I mean by that is certainly we can have multiple goals that we're working towards, or clients can have multiple goals that they're working towards, but from a human physiological perspective, we tend to do better when we're focusing on one goal at a time. And so we highlight that in this month's article. A hypothetical client that has some goals of that are endurance-based, muscular strength-based, as well as weight loss. And trying to work on all three of those simultaneously can be a little bit tricky, but if we partition them out over the course of the year, that can have benefit. Other benefits to periodization include, in Colorado here, we're still in the depths of winter. And so focusing on something like endurance, where it's hard to get outside when it's cold and there's a lot of snow and ice, maybe can be a little bit challenging, and it's a better time to focus on strength-based goals. So periodization of training can follow a seasonal approach naturally. That's another benefit. And then finally, and this is certainly not just the entire list of benefits, but just another benefit we've highlighted in the article, is that when we're focusing on a single goal for months and months on end, our body can get used to that, and the volume and intensity of training and that combination, or the different types of exercise programming that we're performing or our clients are performing, it can make us stale and it can lead to burnout. So periodization of training can help prevent burnout as well. So there's really a 5-step approach to periodization that we've outlined for you in this particular article. Certainly the first is to identify your client's goals, and then to identify a timeline for meeting each of these goals. And from there, we can divide up our year into different seasons. Within each season, then, the next step is to identify 3 to 4 to 5 week blocks of training. And then at that point, when you've done that, you can really start to fill in the exercise programming detail within each of those 3 to 5 blocks. And so you start with goals, and then you start with a big picture calendar, and you break that down into shorter time frames of just several weeks at a time, and build precision into those, being mindful that when you start of what you're thinking about doing over the course of a year, and then in each of those seasons and blocks, as you proceed, based on participant or client feedback, you may end up changing that. So I hope you enjoy this month's article. It was certainly a pleasure to write it. with Emma, and I hope to actually author more articles on this topic in the future. So be on the lookout for that. As always, good to talk to you, and good luck with your clients.